what I have had with what I like about this is I got a chance to get people to see there's a difference between training mules and donkeys. There's a difference, you know, and if they would just change a few little things, then the whole countenance will change on these mules. Okay, now I've adjusted the halter a little bit. We can make it better. See the nice thing about this mule? When you start messing with his nose, see how it starts framing himself up, balanced here? Even though his neck kind of comes up out of his shoulders, it's a little bit more difficult. We'll deal with the big honking clip thing later. Because here's the problem, I got more weight on one side than I do the other, okay? Once you bump your nose a few times, mule, you'll get an understanding. One thing that y'all got to remember is that a foundation is built over a 6-month time frame, 4 to 6 hours a week, over a 6-month time frame. Okay, now, see how the nose is sticking out? Y'all see how the nose is sticking out? Gotta get them over here just so you can kind of see it. Now, I'll take my hands and I'll roll my hands. He's bracing against pressure right now. I'm bumping my right hand. There he comes back. Now I'll roll my hands. Now he's making pressure there. Now I'll roll my hands there. Now I'll get him to drop his head a little bit. There. A little bit more there. A little bit more there. A little bit more there. You see how I'm rolling my hands and he's dropping his head a little piece at a time? And the nose, right now, he's really pushing against this halter, really pushing against it. And so I'm gonna hook him up into a surcingle and show you something here. There's his head down again. There's his head down again. Notice how I'm dropping his head by just rolling my wrist. You see how much I'm just rolling my wrist? My right and the left one here are just rolling down. Dropping his head down, there, down, more. Good, y'all see that? See how I did that? That's the only type of muscle relaxation that I do in the way of a flexing, okay? Now here's the other part. I'm gonna take the mule, I'm gonna tip him here. Wait for his nose, there. Tip him here, wait for his nose. There. That's loosening the throat latch right here. That other going right, left, was loosening all 5 major neck muscles, here and here. All right, now, let's make it easier, even easier. You know how we take our cars to the mechanic and have them tune it up? Well, here's your tune-up. It's called a surcingle. I don't know you, Sailor. Let's see here. I need another strap. Y'all don't need to ride your animals. I hope you're seeing that, to train on them. And the other thing is, you don't need to be on them to train them to neck rein, to stop, things like that. Woohoo! It was a bigger mule before you, sweetheart. The cinch is not that important. What's important is this part right here. And then the breeching to keep this part from going forward.
What are we getting ready to do?
We're getting ready to soften our mule's face. You see how I was rolling my hands right and left to soften them down? But the mule not only needs to stand still to do that, the mule needs to move. It needs to go up into the halter to get soft. So again, what I'm looking for is framed up. Balanced. Top of the hip, top of the wither, top of the head around. Yeah, that's a little too loose of a cinch, but we'll make it work. not climbing on, so there we go. All right, we got the halter adjusted. Now what I want my mule to do is learn to respect the halter, but also frame himself up, where he's driving off his hindquarters, rounds out his back, gets his head down, most of all, nose on the vertical. So what's happening right now, this little mule, he's going okay with loosening the neck muscles, but his throat latch is really tight. He's got a real strong muscle here. Come here and feel this muscle. Come here and give this a feel. Feel this right there. Okay? Come give this a feel right here. Okay? Now, come over here to this little mule. I want you to feel, you don't hardly feel it. It's not hardly there. Give it a feel. You see that?
Do that one more. Do that one more.
Oh, okay. So right in here, there's usually a big heavy muscle in the throat latch. So right in there, what usually happens is that gets really built up strong because people pull on them a lot. They pull on them, okay? Also the snaps too, the big heavy snap on there. But because they pull on them, either with a lead rope or teach them to go right and left, when they pull on them, that throat latch is the first thing to do. All they're doing is trying to protect themselves. That's all they're doing. So to keep you from pulling them, they tighten the throat latch. Lateral flexions. Oh, look at us. That neck thing gets to be so stiff it's unreal. Notice the difference. You don't see that. You don't feel the two. Okay? So you can see that it's not just with every meal. That comes from over pulling. How old is this meal?
12.
12? How old is this meal?
12.
12 and 2. So age didn't make a whole lot of difference. So all I can say is lots of pulling. How did I find that out? Leading pack mules. You know, and you leading them with chains and rope halter. Nylon halters and what they call mule halters and stuff. You know, all it did was make them stiff. That's all it did. That's one way. Another thing is not using the rope halter like I did here. But eventually you get to where you tighten that neck muscle up. That's when this mule. When I asked that mule there, when I put my hand on his nose, he stiffened right up. Now watch the difference here. I put my hand on this nose and back it up a step or so. Watch out. My hand on this nose. Watch. Look at go on the vertical. See on the vertical? See it? Watch this mule. Okay, sweetheart. See it pushing against me? Pushing against me. He's using this muscle he's got over here, pushing against me. That mule there, I barely touched and nose went on a vertical, boom. Okay, so you got a little work ahead of you, not too big of a deal, not a big deal. But that's what we get for pulling and having improperly adjusted halters, all right? Big snaps, big heavy lead ropes, all those things contribute to, okay? Now, again, I figured this out by School of Hard Knocks, but also riding with Nick West on a hackamore. We've got to have that throat latch soft. It has to be soft. So riding with him up there in Alberta, using the hackamores and stuff, he never put a bit in a horse's mouth ever. He said, I wouldn't know how to do it. You just use that.